So I've had many teachers over the years across many educational experiences, and three come to mind instantly for this request to really think about who's impacted my life. The first is Andrew Metropolis, or Mr. Metropolis, as I came to know him, and he started first as a coach in Little League, where he tolerated me, and I say tolerated in very true form because I was a punk kid. He also ended up being in the Boy Scouts, the den leader, and I was kicked out of the Boy Scouts 3 times and twice in 1 week, all of which I deserved. But he was there, and he was still a kind person, recognizing, some kids are going to be rambunctious or unnecessarily obnoxious. And then I came across him again in high school, and it wasn't anew, but because he had lived nearby and we had come into contact pretty regularly. But then I had him for history class, and there was, even before when he was a coach and a den leader and as a history professor, history instructor, teacher, he wanted to make things fun and engaging, and he had passion and he had care. He was able to kind of see whether I was a diamond in the rough or, I don't know, just a kid that needed a little bit different attention, and he fostered that. And so I had him in my junior year, and I had the opportunity to take him again in my senior year, and he continued to help me figure out the ways that I wanted to grow and show up in the world and really gain a profound sense of both teaching and history. The second two I both met in college. The first was my advisor, Avi Chomsky, and she was my advisor. And what I remember so much about her is, again, I was probably not a student she would have connected with otherwise, but because I was assigned as a student to be advised, she took an interest in me. And even though at the time the things that she was focused on for history, I didn't have much interest, she, in a very light touch way, helped me to gain a broader sense and understanding of the world. And that relationship became mutually reinforcing, where it became this mentorship, but also reverse mentorship, where there was things that I was learning about the world that were new to her. And just really appreciated the openness to that and the ways that she thoughtfully challenged my understanding of the world. And so we continued to have that dynamic years after I graduated. And then the final is Dr. Larry Davis. And I met him in my French history class in college. And again, another professor who was just really trying to make the learning experience rich and meaningful. And so in that history of French class, we also brought in culture. Our last day of class, he brought in cheeses and breads, and wanted us to also have a stronger sense of French culture. It's where he, for me, I've always appreciated film, and he brought in film for us to look at it in a more critical way than what I had experienced so far. But more importantly, I met Larry there, and his teaching, his mentorship, it continued to evolve over the years. And so I'm there as I'm trying to figure things out. He continues to be a person I look to and get guidance from. Fast forward about 5 years, and I start teaching at North Shore Community College in Danvers, Massachusetts, and he's teaching in the class right before me. And so I get excited that I'm getting to teach in a class right after he's done, and we strike up a relationship there of he continues to mentor and give me advice and guidance, and is just in thoughtful conversation with me over the next few years as I continue to teach. And then I eventually become an instructional designer at that college, and that mentorship, that relationship continues to evolve, where I get to collaborate with him in ways that I would have never imagined. And we do presentations and work together, and even now, years later, we continue to collaborate. And so his openness, his willingness, to, again, engage with somebody that, there's just ways I showed up that were obnoxious or not great, and he still kind of had that patience to give me time to grow and recognize that there were things there that he wanted to support and help to guide.